Hello.
everyone.
Hello. Welcome
We're
to
waiting, eagerly
the.
waiting to get in on screen.
I know. We're only a couple of minutes late. Welcome everyone. We are in the Community Showcase webinar, which actually a festive special, and that is actually the last one of the year. Isn't that right, Amy?
Yeah, we've gotten into our festivities here. It's
Course.
actually, well, we're having a Christmas jumper day in the Wakelet office. So it was very fitting actually. It came at a very good time. But yeah,
Yes.
we love the showcase webinars. We haven't done one for a while, and we thought what better way to have our final webinar of the year with the community than to celebrate with a community showcase. So we've got some really special guests, and we can't wait to bring them on. But first, we've got lots of lovely familiar faces in the chat as well. So just a few shout outs just before we jump in there. Hi Donna, we've got Donna there in the chat. I saw Maha earlier on as well. Lovely to see you. Mohammed there as well. And I know we always say it, but it's always so incredible to see everyone from all corners of the world jumping on. And that's why we love doing these webinars and bringing everyone in one chat box just to, to say hello to everyone. Got Ryan from the team jumping on. Hey Ryan as well. Any shout outs, James?
Yeah, I was going to say, please do say hello in the chat. Don't be shy. Say hello. Let us know where you're from as well. Is one of our favorite things. Let us know. Have you got your Christmas jumper on? I know it's Christmas jumper day in the UK, but I wonder if that's actually a worldwide thing or not. So please let us know. We got Pilar there from Spain. We got Lois from New Jersey. Hey Lois. We got Chantel there from the Friday team in Texas. Stephanie's here. Jennifer, and of course Michael's there in the comments. You'll see him in just a second. But no, thank you all so much for jumping on today. As Amy said, we're excited about these showcases anyway. It's the last one of the year. Let's go out with a bang. And we've got 3 amazing ambassadors that are going to share how they're using Wakelet or how they've been using it throughout the year. So get your kind of pen and paper ready and get ready to take some notes, because I know there's a lot of cool ideas that will be shared in this webinar today.
Yeah, and just in case you do have to jump off or you want to watch it back, not to worry, it will be on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it straight after, because it's live now, but then you can watch it back as soon as via the same link. We'll also share towards the end of the session, we'll share a link so you can fill that out, so you can get a certificate of attendance. So if you need that for any PD hours or anything like that, or you just want to showcase it, which we hope you do, you can fill out that form, and we'll make sure you get a certificate of attendance along with all of the resources that everyone shares as well. So if you want to give them a follow, we'll make sure all of that information is in there as well. But yeah, share all your ideas in the chat. Like I said, we love to see it, and I know our guests will as well. Love to see all of your creative ideas coming through in that chat as well. So any questions, any comments, please keep them coming throughout, and we'll be jumping in and out of the chat throughout. So yeah, but I think without further ado, we'll kick off, James.
Yeah, it's time to go. Okay, please welcome to the stage. We have 3, like I say, amazing ambassadors that are here to share. We have the amazing Michael Drezek, Bonnie Weinstein, and Shara Dixon. So hello, guys. Give a quick wave to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We know you're going to share some amazing things throughout the next hour. But just so everyone knows who you are, in a circle, we'll start with Michael. You just do a quick introduction and let the community know, if they don't know already, who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Michael Drezek. I am a Wakelet ambassador from the 5th Wave. I am joining in from Angola, New York, outside of Buffalo. I'm a district technology integration specialist at Lakeshore Central Schools. So it's my 19th year in education and my 9th year as a tech integrator supporting other teachers in our district. So excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Bonnie, over to you.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Weinstein. I'm an elementary technology coach in Summit, New Jersey, so not too far from where Michael is. I go between 7 buildings in our district and help our teachers in kindergarten through 5th grade.
Nice one. Thank you so much, Bonnie. And Cheryl.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So I'm Shara Dickerson. I live in El Paso, Texas. It's a border city right next to Juarez, Mexico. And I'm originally from the Philippines, so I'm an immigrant here in Texas, loving the job. I'm the director of tech integration and learning. And I have 25 years of experience. So I think I'm the veteran in the group. I feel so old all of a sudden. But I'm excited to be here. I'm looking forward to sharing what I learned from Wakelet, and hopefully you'll find it all helpful. Thank you.
I'm sure
No,
everyone will.
Definitely. I mean, between the three of you as well, I think like you all have obviously the role in tech, but you kind of span across the whole kind of school system. So I think everyone will learn at least one thing, I bet, from today, but I'm sure there'll be loads of ideas on the show. So again, thank you so much, Cheryl, Bonnie, and Michael for joining us today. I think the chat are ready to kind of hear some ideas and get going. So what do you think, Amy? Ready to go?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, we'll start off then with Bonnie, if that's okay.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, Bonnie, the stage is yours. I actually, funny enough, on my US adventure, went to Bonnie's schools and actually got to see the classes in kind of K through, was it K in first grade, use Wakelet, and it was amazing. That is exactly why I asked Bonnie to come on today. So I'm excited to see it all again, Bonnie, and I know everyone else will love to see the examples. So thanks again for joining us.
No problem. Okay, so I'm going to start with some classroom uses of how we use Wakelet in our classroom. So some of them are resources that I've created, our team of tech coaches have created, and some are teachers that have created some across our district. So the first one I want to share is our word detectives. This is actually a center activity. It breaks down our center rotations for Reader's Workshop. So you can see these are just easy ways, spells out read. Our students, depending on which center they're assigned to for the day, click on the resource that they need to, or the assignment that they need to do for that day. And it's just an easy way to keep the students engaged, accountable, and just organized for their reading centers. And our teachers really enjoy it. It's easy for them to manage because they're literally just changing 2 or 3 resources each week and making a copy of their collection, and it's easy to facilitate for them. The second Wakelet I wanted to share with you guys is a similar idea, but it's for our math rotations. This resource is not necessarily for our students as the first one was. This is more resources for our teachers to use during their math rotations. So we break it down, actually, our math coach in our district breaks it down by chapter and skill that the students are working on and grade level. And then our teachers can go here and find resources that they can use in their classroom for each center rotation. So just to give you guys a quick run through of some of the ideas, and you can see the different centers. And then this one spells out math, mimicking our read. So that's our math rotations. One of the activities that James actually got to see when he came to visit us was mystery words. This was actually a Wakelet we did in our kindergarten class. And basically, our students were all given an envelope. So it looks similar to this. And in each envelope was a different mystery word. The students had to decipher the phonetics of their word, sound it out, practice it. And then all the students were collaborators on the Wakelet, and they added their mystery word to the Wakelet. So you can see as I run down all the mystery words that the students had. And these are all snap words that the kids are using in the classroom. And then once all the mystery words were added to the Wakelet, the students had a link to a Flipgrid for mystery words, and they were able to add to Flip the same thing, their phonetics of their word, sounding it out, saying the word, and then we're able to hear all the mystery words that their classmates had added. So again, it was a way for the students to interact, make it really fun, and kind of that mystery and the kinesthetic piece of actually having a physical envelope that they were opening and made it exciting for them in kindergarten. The next is actually another kindergarten. This is one of our kindergarten teachers. She uses Wakelet to provide resources for the kids to have books that they can listen to during a center or just a time, if they're coming back and they just kind of need to regroup. She has Starbucks that she filters out different choices each week or every other week. And then it just provides different resources of online books that they can kind of have at their fingertips that she knows that are appropriate for them. The next one is kindergarten. Again, we do a lot of trackpad practice at the beginning. All of our kindergarteners have Chromebooks. So we share out a Wakelet of different ways that our teachers can have students practice their trackpad practice. So these are some point and click activities and so forth, drag and drop activities. So it's practicing different skills using their trackpads on their Chromebooks. A great resource for the beginning of the school year. We usually share it out, and then the kindergarten teachers can take what resources they want from it and add it to their Google Classrooms. Wonder, our Wonder Wakelet was actually done with a 5th grade class. And the students during this activity, Wonder was being read as a read aloud in the classroom. The teacher took an excerpt from the book and then posed a question to the class. Each student responded on what they thought the correct response was, and then they were paired with a classmate in the class, and then their classmate, the partner that they were given, had to share whether they agreed with their partner's response or disagreed. And they recorded a flip grid, and their flip response was then partnered with their response. So this is their classmate's response, and then this was the flip grid response of whether they agreed or disagreed. And then the students were able to see the responses and then their classmates' opinions. The next resource of Wakelet that I have for you is What's Hatching in Kindergarten. This activity was done in one of our kindergarten classrooms. They actually get the eggs and actually go through the incubator process and having chicks hatch in their classrooms. Prior to that, our teacher does like a little research activity with their class, asking the kids what they think is going to come out of their eggs. Obviously, you can imagine the responses that kindergartners give. Narrowing down the list, we chose 3 animals. So we chose snakes, platypus, and chicks. And Wakelet provided a safe space for us to be able to allow the kindergartners to kind of conduct their own mini research projects. So they were able to click on the Wakelet. So this Wakelet actually embeds a Wakelet within the Wakelet. And when students clicked on the activities such as snakes, it took them to another Wakelet, and all of the activities and resources in here were suitable for kindergarten. So the Google slideshows and Google Docs all had audio components that read to the students. So it was really easy for a kindergarten to navigate and toggle between and going back and forth and being able to be independent because of the audio component. This Wakelet is a PBL. All of our units of study in our social studies unit ends with a project-based learning activity. So we decided to take Wakelets and break down the activities. So it goes step by step of what each part of the component is. It has all the resources linked. This has the embed of Canva of the students creating a map of their location in New Jersey. And it really just takes the project-based learning activity and breaks it down into the components for the students. This is another Wakelet embedded with all research links for students. And then all of our graphic organizers. So everything is kind of in a one-stop shop for the students, which is really nice and convenient, and it makes it easy to navigate. This is actually a resource that was just created by one of our learning workshop teachers for building words. So she actually has created different word wheels. And this is just like a nice hub that once they complete a set of words, so she has a word wheel for CVC words, a word wheel for short vowels. And then depending on what activity they're doing in the classroom, she just has them put onto the Wakelet, and she can click on it. She could share it out to parents, the students, to build words and build the phonemic awareness for the students. This activity was our Thanksgiving Day parade that one of my colleagues had done. This activity has Wakelets embedded in. There's actually an ELA Thanksgiving Day parade and a math Thanksgiving Day parade. This activity was really cute. It actually came with a program that the students received. It had a map of all the different activities. So when you click on the ELA Thanksgiving Day Parade, it has each activity that the students are going to accomplish. And once the students complete that activity, they received a sticker to put on their map. And then we're able to go on to the next stop on the parade route. So again, adding like a kinesthetic piece with the digital component just adds another layer for the students and really engages them. And the last one I have for classroom use is our first grade wonders. This is an activity that our first grade does with an inquiry project, kind of similar to Genius Hour or 20% time. And these are different topics that the first graders wondered about. And we created a Wakelet of information and resources for the students. And each student had access to their Wakelet, were able to take notes, investigate, and create a project based on what they learned through their exploration of their Wakelet, and then share that information to their class. So those were classroom uses. The next topic I wanted to dive into with Wakelets is professional development. So we do an onboarding for our new teachers, and we obviously have a ton of tech tools that we use within our district. So we've created a Wakelet because at the beginning of the school year, time is of the essence. We can only get to so much in so much time. We created a Wakelet of resources. So if teachers are not familiar with Google Classroom, using Flip, Wakelet, these kind of give them some examples of how they're used, how we set them up in our district, and just how to use them in general. So we actually have resources from the different subscriptions or tools to kind of give them a starting guide prior to them having formal training. Another professional development, we're actually in the process after the holidays, we'll be coming back and we're starting a book club with our teachers. We're going to actually be doing Tech Like a Pirate, an oldie but a goodie, and we are going to be using Wakelet. So our plan, this is kind of just, I actually got this idea from another Wakelet, and this actually lays out our schedule of them, and then we will be posing questions into the Wakelet, and we'll have our teachers collaborate through that. So that teachers can kind of navigate at their own pace and be able to share what they're learning and, you know, how they use some of these resources in their classroom. And we do Google certifications. So as part of our Google certification, we actually broke down we do boot camps. And one of the boot camps, I used Wakelet to break down some of the resources in Google and different activities that the teachers were going to accomplish during that time frame. Again, adding a kinesthetic piece of it, there was a chart that kind of coincided with the Wakelet. And as the teachers completed each activity, they actually scratched off a scratcher that led to a letter. And when they finished all of them, it unscrambled to a word. So just adding, you know, the components of the digital as well as another piece. And who doesn't love a scratch off? So that was another fun way that we used Wakelet for professional development. And the last idea I wanted to share for professional development was, as tech coaches, we're always sharing across grade levels. We go between multiple buildings in our district. So we constantly are compiling resources for units of study in our curriculum that are coming up across multiple buildings. And we share them out through Wakelet. So this is actually for our second grade unit of study on economics. And these are just some different resources, tools, and we kind of compile them up based on the units and share this out across all of our second grade teachers so that they have a quick resource guide of just things that they can quickly pull from to use in their classrooms. And the next final three. The next Wakelet I wanted to share was, this is actually an administrative Wakelet. One of our building principals would use Wakelet, and he actually used the app on his phone to take pictures as he was walking around and kind of circulating throughout the building. And on Fridays, he would share out a Wakelet of all the highlights and things that he saw going on in different classrooms. So, you know, as teachers and educators, you know, you can't see everything that's going on throughout the building. So this was a nice way to highlight some of the things that were going on across the school. So he basically would write like a little blurb of the activity that he saw and then include some pictures, which was really nice. The next idea for this goes back to just basics of a newsletter. At the beginning of the school year, every year we share out some tech tips of, how to start off your year, reminders, new things that might have changed over the summer. And we send it out to our whole staff. So welcoming them back, any updates that have been done, just like little reminders, important dates for trainings, and so on. So that's just like a newsletter idea. And then this is a classroom newsletter that a lot of our teachers are using Wakelet across our districts for newsletters. It's a nice way for them to easily make a copy, add the new current information, and then share out some notes, dates, pictures with their parents. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys got some great ideas.
Yeah, wow, Bonnie, that was amazing. Thank
Definitely.
you so much. Was that 15 collections in 15 minutes?
That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
I think maybe for another session as well.
I think so. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for sharing. I know a lot of people in the chat were loving how you were using Wakelet for little learners. There's a lot of comments about that. And one thing for me, I'll just say, and what I saw when I visited Bonnie's schools, is just the physical aspects that you bring with Wakelet. I feel like Wakelet's great to bring all those resources together in one place. It's where the students kind of access the resources and also collaborate with the collections, which I really like. But then that physical piece with the map for the Thanksgiving Day parade. Sorry, I cannot speak. I went to it as well, so I should be able to say it. I just think it's absolutely amazing. So I love that you pair the physical and the digital together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Lois in the chat was saying about how she loves how interactive they were. I particularly loved it with the Wonder reading activity that you showcased. Kind of having that collaborative piece in there made them not only be able to share their own feedback and express their own kind of thoughts and opinions on the piece of writing, but I love that how they can then see each other's work as well, which is really nice. They can have that kind of reflection on each other's work, which was lovely. Yeah, and like I said, like James said, so many people in the chat were loving it for all the ideas and interactivity for little learners as well, because we do say Wakelet is for all ages, but sometimes it's not as clear as to how to use it for younger learners. So you have given everyone lots and lots of ideas, which is great to see. But also I want to say about the sort of the PD use cases as well that you were sharing. I love the use of the column layout, particularly for breaking down the different tools, because of course, when you're going into trainings, there's lots of, you want to show more how to apply and use the tool. So getting those kind of technical and those bits out of the way to get everyone sort of on a level playing field. It's a really nice way to have that kind of one-stop shop for all of those resources and refer back to it as well. But yeah, loads of great ideas. Thank you so much for sharing, because everyone loved it, and I'm hoping everyone was making notes because I was writing down quite a few as well, just to refer back to. So yes, you might be getting some requests for those templates, particularly those newsletter ones, because they're fantastic as well.
Yeah, everyone in the chat's asking for those collections, Bonnie. So if you jump into the YouTube, like I said before, you'll be able to go ahead and reply to some comments too. And what we'll do is we'll jump into the other two ambassadors, and then hopefully at the end we'll have some time for some question and answers too. But for now, thank you so much, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, next, after that quick fire round, we'll go into Sharo. And I know Sharo will have some absolutely amazing examples. Hello again, Sharo. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing very good. I'm so excited. I also jotted a lot of notes from Bonnie's presentation. So I'm like, I'm going to implement that. So it's just a lot of
so much shared.
Yes. So
awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and share, I guess, the present button. Is that where I click, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
correct. I'm gonna share my screen. Here we go. All righty.
Take it away.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I hope
it's coming any second now.
Is it? No?
Not in the background just yet.
Okay.
Sometimes it does a little bit of a fun thing with picking the different screens. so don't worry too
I
much.
can just probably share my this one right here. I think it will be easier. Okay.
Oh, that's it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Sometimes it won't
There you
let
go.
you just do one of them. So
Okay.
yeah, that we can see that
All
now.
right. Wonderful. So again, hello everybody. It's good morning here in El Paso, Texas. So I'm excited to share Wakelet. I've used Wakelet for quite some time, and it has become a building block for me in terms of training teachers, librarians, also parents, and even people from central office who are instructional leaders. So that's the beauty of my job. It's more for adult learning. So if your work or line of work deals with training, sharing professional development with peers and colleagues, then I hope that you find my different collections helpful for you to share and to use. So as I scroll down here, you can see here on the left side menu what I call the best practices. So in this area right here, where the best practices are showing, as an academic scholar, I'm very big on ensuring that I always use as an anchor different best practices when training educators. So you have best practices here like communication, collaboration, critical analysis, or inquiry research. Culture, learning environment, differentiation or scaffolding. You have your formative assessment and feedback, goal setting, autonomy, entrepreneurship. We also have here innovation, of course, in the library, problem solving, creativity. There's also reflection, growth mindset, relevance, authenticity, small group instruction, and standards alignment. So these best practices help as an anchor for me to be able to start creating the collections. So as you scroll down, and as I scroll down, you can see all the different collections that I have been building for each best practice. So feel free to borrow, copy, use, whatever you want to do, steal them if you want them. I believe sharing is caring, so that you can share it as well with your peers and with your fellow educators. So there's just a lot there in the main page itself. Now, I'm going to check and see if you can see this other. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to share another one. So give me a minute right here as I share another piece here, which I would love for you to take a look. So here we go. So one of the training sessions that I did recently was about digital citizenship. So the audience that I had were primarily parents, and I think parents are sometimes in the community not don't have like a lot of opportunities to be given some very valuable information. There is a saying, what we call, it takes a village to raise every child. So I believe in that. And I think as educators, it is our responsibility to partake in that role and also to invite parents, grandparents, guardians of children to take an active role in the growth of their children. So that being said, as I scroll down here, okay, just give me a minute right here. Okay, there we go. You can see here all the different resources. SEL stands for Social Emotional Learning and Digital Life. So there are some packets for kinder to 12. So I have your first grades, kinder to second. These are conversation packets that families can use, and you can also guide them in this process. There's also a Spanish version, of course. We also have a packet for grades 3 to 5, English and Spanish version. And we also have packets for 6 to 8 and 9 to 12. Okay, so you can see here these different packets in both English and Spanish that you can use, you can download, and definitely steal, borrow, and use them for your own school or for your own school community. We also have here some family tips, again, specifically for your early childhood, your pre-K to second. We also have here family tips for kinder to 5. So you can see here different resources, different links, and another partner in education that that I have for my district is called Common Sense Media. If you don't know Common Sense Media, I encourage you to look at it. They have wonderful free resources. And again, it is for common use for anybody who is about the entire whole child approach, welfare of children. So you can see here how the different topics are actually broken down into digital footprint and identity. You also have relationships and communication, and so on and so forth. Now, when I conducted this particular training for parents, I've always wanted to approach it in such a way that it is about depth and experience. So I gave them a workshop activity. And so we focus on the topic on online meanness. And this is, again, a great resource, like what I said. So when you open that up, it should bring you to a website that will provide you resources on how to address cyberbullying, digital drama, and so on and so forth. So very helpful, in creating collections in Wakelet. It makes life easy and it makes it very simple to share in whatever platform you're using, and also whatever internet browser you're using. And also you can easily share it in your different social media applications. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to specifically use a certain application in order to run it. So Wakelet makes it happen for you. So again, that is the part there for digital citizenship. And again, these are awesome resources. They're even pre-made presentations, so you don't have to create presentations from scratch. So as you dive deep into these resources, you'll get access to those presentations, and you can definitely customize it, even translate it, or transfer it to the language of your choice. So that's the beauty of sharing in the Wakelet family. Now, let me try to give you another collection right here. Just give me a minute as I share another tab. Okay. Here we go. Here's another one of my favorite, which is about 21st century libraries. We often talked about libraries as being the hub of cross-curricular print and digital literacy and global learning. So one of the missions in my district is to really elevate the role of libraries in delivering reading, literacy, and also other content areas. So that being said, under here, I've broken down the collection. I love the columns template, by the way. It makes life so much easier. I've broken down how 21st century libraries can look in the category of innovation, love for reading, which I think is very important, the role of librarians, literacy per se, and also your cross-curricular, okay? So from here under innovation, I was able to make collections about immersive virtual reality experiences for middle school and high school. I also found a resource on classroom in the cloud. We also have here 4 tips to transform your learning space, school libraries and maker spaces. So if you're not familiar with maker spaces, they actually are very hands-on. It could be digital, it could be manipulatives, put together depending on the age of your students who are using the libraries. And the students pretty much get to explore and discover different types of learning using a small group approach. They're in stations and they get to explore different materials and resources on their own. Also more on maker spaces and how you can also use makerspace to promote your school. So if there are students who you're missing who are not coming to school, well, maker spaces can be a good way to promote STEM, your science, tech, engineering, and math. It's also a good way to promote stations, small group learning, differentiation, and so on and so forth. I also have included here some videos. And again, many of these resources are coming from Edutopia. Even though we are all familiar about, or many many of us are familiar about Edutopia. It just helps to have collections already ready for you to dive in and start using. So time is precious when you are a teacher and an educator. And so it's really good to have this ability to share, when you have the time to collect these resources, put it together, organize, and then share in your network. Now, under love for reading, I think it's, again, there are tips here on how to encourage students to read more broadly. There's some videos here as well, some examples of what is a book talk. So if you're not familiar with book talk, you can do it either on print style or you can also do it digital. So if you want to know more about that, I have that resource right here. We also have here tips on school-wide focus on choice reading, as well as strategies for promoting a love of reading. So again, these are just some of the resources that I share with librarians as we try to really maximize their expertise. Your librarians are multifaceted, they're very talented, they're also very creative. And here in Texas, librarians have become also the hub for technology. So like what I mentioned, it's not only about print literacy, but we're also talking about digital literacy. So if you have, libraries in your schools and you're thinking of, hey, how can we maximize the use of such a facility in the campus? Well, then I hope these ideas can help you, to be able to do that. Okay. All right. So let's do another one right here. I'm going to stop this screen and I'm going to choose another one and share the screen right here. Okay, here we go. All right. So another thing, of course, we're as an ambassador, as a Wakelet ambassador, I always promote Wakelet. Again, we all we love Wakelet because it is very easy. You can create websites without having to go through the complications of programming. It's already here. You just put all the different resources and share it away. So my style when I do present at conferences, whether locally here in El Paso or just like here internationally or globally, I always follow my model of design, explore, refine, and demonstrate. It is a framework which we call here in my district active learning. And so it sets a very nice model and structure to be able to organize the resources that Wakelet has shared with us, which are fabulous. But then it's more on a hands-on, very experienced approach or type of approach. So here on the design, I bring my participants, and they're different educators, to go in and look at what is Ride the Wakelet Wave. What does that mean? And also get to see some videos on the experiences and testimonials of different individuals and the power users, other ambassadors, and other educators who have been using Wakelet. Now, once they get into that, then they start exploring the different materials, such as how do I add Wakelet to the Microsoft Teams assignment? And then how do I access the Wakelet app in Microsoft Teams or whatever video conferencing tool that you're using or learning management system that you're using. I also bring in other partners in education, their collections, such as using Wakelet to create infographics. Did you know that you can use Wakelet to create infographics? Well, then here's a resource right here. If you're not aware of that, you have it already here available at your fingertips. I also have your collection on sketchnoting. So participants get to explore, oh my goodness, I can feature Sketchnote and put it here in Wakelet. Absolutely. We also have 201 plus epic QR code tips and tricks and hacks for teaching and learning. My goodness, 201 plus, that's a lot. But here you have this, it's going to stay here. It's meant to be shared and for you to be able to explore. I also have here an example of an actual, that was used for remote digital literacy teaching. So again, that's an example. We also have some fun stuff here for different events and holidays. And also, again, our social emotional learning. In the refined portion of my model of training, I have collected here the templates that Wakelet has provided us. So if you're not familiar with the different templates that Wakelet provides, they are here. So there's PD curation, there's onboarding, there's also for your profile and for your own collection if you're just getting started or teaching somebody to get started. Also, we have here the Wakelet template resource list. So there's just an abundance of different resources that you can use. And of course, to demonstrate, if you haven't attended what we call the Wakelet Week Mania, you better attend for the next round because it's fun. There's so many cool stuff that are being shared there, which I know you will absolutely love. So under the demonstrate are all these different videos that was taken from the Wakelet Week. And, you get to watch at your own time, at your own pace, all of these wonderful resources. So again, these are different things that I share, with educators, and they get to really love all these different pieces that I share with them. And one more thing before, let me just close this right here. And I'm going to get another resource for you to see so you can have different ideas, different examples on how you can do this. Here we go. So if you're not familiar with Todd Finley is very generous in sharing different ideas for student learning and teacher growth. So I have this collection where I gathered all of his Twitter postings of activities for beginning and closure activities, brain challenge and stimulation. We also have here learning environments and management. We also have relationship building. There's also student center learning. So when you open these links from his directly from his Twitter, I'll give you one. So let's say trauma-informed teaching. So it's just going to open up into that link where it tells you about, when you are addressing trauma-informed teaching, you have to have a consistent agenda, a private praise, a very consistent classroom design. Make sure you have a two-step transition, make the classroom safe. You can identify and implement calming down strategies, teach empathy and listening skills, and so on and so forth. So again, these are cool ideas. It makes life easier, especially if you are a professional development designer and provider, is to put all of your resources in Wakelet, choose one of the designs, and be able to share that and deliver it to different people, whoever would be your audience. So again, that's all that I can share for right now. And if you need my handle, it would be wakelet.com/Sharo Dickerson, SHARO, last name Dickerson. And that is my collection. And if you have other ideas you want to throw in or want me to create some for you, just let me know. And I'm open for suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Sharon.
Thank you
That
so
was
much, Sharon.
wonderful. Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your handle there. I did drop it in the chat because quite a few people asking for it. So I've put that out there because there were so many amazing ideas that everyone just wanted to jump on and check them out straight away, I think. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Go on, Amy.
I was just going to say, at first, I have to applaud you for your sections on your profile. That was the first thing I was like, when you were going through those, amazing. Organization down to a T. But I've really never seen them like broken into best practices and things like that. Like I've seen different topics and subject areas and things like that, but seeing them as best practices was really cool. And there were so many, but it was still really nice and clear, and having that kind of one-stop shop for your teachers to refer to. I really love that because, like I said, I love lists and Sui spaces as well. They were fantastic as well.
Yes, the columns are magic. They make columns are magic. I love them. I'm in love with them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was going
No,
to comment on that as well.
yeah.
The columns were super organized. Like sometimes columns for me, and I know other people, it can get a bit kind of messy. There's a lot of things going on, but looking at yours, the way you went through it, especially the design, explore, refine, demonstrate model, I thought that was
Yes.
amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
You're
it kind of
welcome.
leads
It's
your
my
teachers.
pleasure.
Yeah, leads your teachers through that sort of discovery journey of Wakelet or any tool as well. So yeah, I found that really nice guide how you presented it like that, because kind of taking them through it step by step, which is really cool. Also, there was a lot of love for your digital citizenship resource hub for parents.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a fantastic way to get that information out there to parents, and making sure they've got access to it, like you said, because it can be shared just simply with that one link. You don't have to worry about it getting lost on the way on a fly or something like that. They've just got that, and you can keep adding to it and building on it as well, which is fantastic to see. But yeah, there was a lot of love for everything you were sharing there. So thank you so much. It was great to see.
You are welcome. We're all here about learning. So thank you so much, guys. My pleasure.
Thank you,
Yeah, I know,
Sharo.
we definitely are. And like I said, sharing is caring. We'll jump into Michael just now. Thank you so much, Sharo. Michael, you have the last 15 minutes. Tough act to follow, but I know you've got some amazing ideas to share.
Yeah, that certainly is tough to follow, but I'm inspired. I got some great ideas already that I'm going to bring back to our teachers, our students, and a bunch for just personal uses and professional uses that I'm going to steal for myself. So thank you, Bonnie and Sharo. I just got to first say that my life as an educator, I find myself having just way too many tabs open. It's a blessing and a curse, right? But I just want to give a shout out to the Wakelet Chrome extension. We're Google for Education District, but the fact that I can enable this Wakelet extension right here for new tabs and then just hit this plus sign and have all of my many tabs that I could just create a collection with in those tabs is a lifesaver. So shout out to that Wakelet extension. Another thing that I wanted to touch on was, and I'm a dark mode kind of guy. So whoever's idea it was on the Wakelet's team to enable that dark mode there, I love it. And also people think if you use dark mode, you're strange or how dare you? I don't know. I love the dark mode. So I had to say
I think everyone in the office right now has dark mode on as well. we love it.
The other thing I wanted to add was just in this explore feature. I know I just I don't click on it enough, but today I decided to click on explore and just jumped into this holiday read alouds here. And I noticed it was from Lori Guion, who's edupal of mine. Started scrolling down is how wonderful something like this is. So don't sleep on that explore button that just kind of hangs out in there. I know we'd sometimes just jump right into a collection or, saving some bookmarks and things like that. But, love that explore feature. So I wanted to just jump into, I created a space here for today's wrap up for just some different collections and some ways that I've used Wakelet for myself, and just to highlight a few collections that I've been into lately, and just going to share some of these with you. I'm going to start off with this Global Student Chat collection. And if you're on the stream and you're wondering what is Global Student Chat, it is a live tweet and talk. It's monthly questions for students by students with an expert on panel. And you could see right here, it'll take you to the website. Hey, what is Global Student Chat? How do I get my students discussing and talking with other students? We just wrapped up an awesome chat in December on Gen Z. And these are students who are Gen Zers talking about Gen Z. And there's 3 questions over 30 minutes. And then there's a slow chat that goes all month long. But if you click into one of these, and they date all the way back to 2017, so they're great discussion starters with students. But inside of here, you will get the YouTube stream, you will get the chat questions, you'll even get to meet or get connected with whoever the expert was on panel for that month. So if you've never heard of Global Student Chat, and again, I made this space public so anyone can go into this collection and look through it and check it out and learn a little bit more about what that's all about. I also want to say that we were one of the lucky schools here in New York to have a visit from our pals at Wakelet. You can see James and Jamil there. visiting Lakeshore Central Schools. And it was just really great for our students to get connected and learn with them. I had used Wakelet a lot myself as an educator, as a tech integrator, but not really taking advantage of the power of what this could look like for our students. And you can see, we're learning from the best. There's Ryan in there as well. And they really did inspire our students to get started. They're currently doing the Wakelet Student Ambassador program right now and working through those checklists to build up their student portfolios. So thanks so much for visiting Lakeshore and inspiring us to do more with Wakelet for students. Another thing I like to do is find, how have other people used Wakelet well, and how can I maybe add their collections to my collection? We held a DigCit Summit here. I know some of the other speakers touched on the importance of digital citizenship, and it was just a nice way to capture all of the things that we've been doing with DigCit. Here's an EdTech The Halls collection that was basically A through Z, a new app a day. And it was just a really nice way to add some bunsies to a Wakelet. And I was able to put this in here. The EdTech Stories podcast, I encourage everyone to check that out, about really the origin of Wakelet with Jamil. One of the things that we just learned of how some schools were creating a lost and found with Wakelet of all of the items in their school that are piling up in a lost and found. And I found a Wakelet that shows you exactly how to build one of those for yourselves. Our school newspaper is now transitioning over to Wakelet. So when I can click on this, they're using Canva to do this right now. And there's only been one article here, but when I click on it, I get the green and white news. So there's a QR code that hangs in the hallways that will bring our students and our teachers and our school community to read about what's happening in Lakeshore. So they're going to move away from a website that they had used to run that and get it all into a Wakelet. Going back to that collection, again, learning from other educators and how they use Wakelet. Going back to the Explore tab, I was able to save those holiday read alouds that I discovered from the Explore tab right to this collection. So just a few of the ways. And again, we're big into esports here at Lakeshore. I love this collection from Becky Keene. She basically went ahead and collected what all of these different esports rooms look like. And it helped us get inspired to what we could do with our esports spaces. I know I've got, again, back to having a lot of tabs open. I know it's slowing down my computer there a little bit, but really neat to see what other schools are doing in terms of esports spaces. Backing out of this and going back to the space of my collections, I also made a Wakelet for Global Maker Day. Global Maker Day also dates back to probably 2016, and it happens every October. And you can go through here and meet some of the team members of Global Maker Day, and you can actually rewatch Global Maker Day 2022. There's a maker session on the half hour, and there's different maker challenges. And you can see here like a live schedule of what that looked like. Here's all the challenges. And even going back years past, these maker challenges really never expire. You could make any day, anytime. So really just encouraging people tuning in today to check out Global Maker Day, check out that collection and see how you can bring Global Maker Day to your classroom or your school, because it really can happen any day of the year. For myself, going to conferences is something that I do every once in a while. I recently went to NICEGate 22. I made this Wakelet public and created an invite code for other educators to add their resources and collections to. So you can see, you go to a conference, you just can't be everywhere at once. So by opening up to all of the attendees at the conference, people are now collecting the different session resources and adding them in here. Even sharing this out on Twitter or social media allows people that aren't even at the conference at all to kind of follow along and be part of it. So really, really like the way that Wakelet can kind of bring that conference experience to everybody through a resource collection. I just came across the other day on Twitter, hey, here's math websites to support educators. So I was able to pull these websites out and put them into a Wakelet and then share these with our math teachers so that maybe there's something new that they can learn or use to make their teaching lives a little bit easier. So definitely check out that collection of math websites to support educators. Our teachers are always asking me, hey, what other types of tech tools are out there? What do you use to go beyond the curriculum? From game design to coding to AR and VR to music creation to podcasting, green screen, photo editing. I just tried to collect a lot of different tools that teachers could use for some enrichment or to extend beyond, what a traditional class would look like. So it was just a nice way for me to grab all of the tech enrichment resources and get them into one space so that when a teacher's looking for something, I can send them there, but then also support them in that. I just also got to give a shout out to the Wakelet mobile app. I did my Google Innovator project back in 2019 around educator burnout. And it was really huge for me on mobile if I would find something on the go to be able to share it to the Wakelet collection right from my phone. And really, this Wakelet collection has over 250 items around educator burnout, from tweets to articles to research, including the Google site that I had put together to help teachers kind of see where they're at. So you can see right here that there's a self-assessment. There's different resources and podcasts and books and communities and organizations. And then again, the embedded Wakelet that I use to help gather what others were saying around educator burnout and how you can overcome it. So these are just some of the collections that I've been into. And then I guess I got to give a shout out here to Ryan from Wakelet, who he helped me put together this phenomenal collection on Unreal Engine in the classroom. So we've been doing this a lot at Lakeshore lately with students, but I didn't really have a nice way to collect all of the resources, the websites, the Discords, the lesson plans. I know before there was a really nice column layout shared by Shero, and it has me thinking, you know what, this could work really well as a column layout as I maybe redesign something on this, but it's really helped me curate something that's kind of complex with a lot of information into one space. So these are just a few of my favorite Wakelets. I made that public. Feel free to check it out. Save anything that you see that you like there to your profile. And really, thanks so much for letting me share some of the things that I've been up to in Wakelet lately.
Thank you so much, Michael. Honestly, they were great to see. And thank you so much for shouting out some of those features. I think some of them go under the radar a little bit with the particularly the explore functionality. I mean, there are so many great ideas out there. We love jumping on webinars like these and hearing from you guys and hearing and seeing how you're using it. But particularly for anyone jumping on new and just trying to discover Wakelet for themselves, the explore is fantastic. And I really love that then you're putting those into a collection. I sometimes bookmark them, but I'm not always very good at going back and then looking at them. So having one like inspiration collection like you've got there, it's certainly something I'll be doing later on, because like I said, I'm sometimes bad at looking back at the bookmark. So I really like that you were using that in kind of like an inspiration collection. And I mean, sometimes you see these ideas, and
I know I pulled some of them out of my bookmarks where they were just sitting there for a while, and just getting them into a space that I may be more likely to come back to beyond just the mass collection of bookmarks that I built up over time.
Yeah, and of course, your teachers are busy and might not always be able to jump on and get started on that straight away. So having that in one place that you can refer back to and just have a little look through when you're ready to sort of start up a new project or something like that. I really like that. Yeah, really cool ideas. But yes, also with the app, I'm a big one for all this. When I'm on my journey or commute to work, adding things into collections and things like that. So a great shout out for that one as well. I do agree with you on that one.
I think I use the app most for recipes. A lot of times when I'm browsing and I could just save a recipe real quick for cooking. I'm sure a lot of people on the call use it the same way, but that's a lifesaver.
Yeah, I'm a guilty one for that one, and well, not guilty, but that is one of my ways of using it, because I'll find it and I'm like, right, I gotta remember that one for later, or podcasts when I get the recommendations and things like that and conversations. So a bit of a lifesaver there.
Yeah, no, they're all amazing, Michael. Thank you so much for sharing them again. And again, there's so much love in the chat for those examples. I shared your space, but if you want to share it again, Michael, I'm sure that'll be appreciated. What we'll do though, we'll bring Bonnie and Shero back on screen. say a quick, again, just a huge thank you to the three of you for sharing. I hope you got to see a bit of the comments, because the love for all the examples, I mean, there must have been over 30 examples shared in this one webinar, which is exactly what this is for. So I hope you guys enjoyed sharing it, because we definitely enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. We know everyone in the chat has enjoyed it. So yes, like James said, take a little look back through, and we will be sharing out all of the resources you all shared, so everyone will have those, so they can look back at them as well. But yeah, thank you so much. And there's so many ideas there. Hopefully everyone's going to take them away and maybe use them, maybe if not for at the end of the year, but for next year for sure. So lots to get started with next year. But yeah, thank you all so much. Any farewells or anything that you want to say before we jump off?
Here in Buffalo.
Well, I'm just gonna wish everybody. I'm sorry, Michael.
No, you're fine. You're fine. There's always a little lag or a little delay, but I was gonna say here in Buffalo, when we sign off and say goodbye, we say "Go Bills."
Like it.
He's not wrong. I heard that a lot last week.
I just want to say happy holidays to everybody, and hope you all be safe. And I'm just going to say for my fellow Filipinos, I'm going home to the Philippines, and I'll be there visiting my folks. So I'm going to have a 1-month break, yay, before I come back to work. So I need to rejuvenate and be with my family. So I'm looking forward to that. So enjoy the holidays with your family.
Oh,
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shara. I hope you enjoy that break. I hope that a lot of people in the chat as well have a nice break over the holidays. Again, Michael, Bonnie, Shara, thank you so much for joining today. We appreciate you sharing your examples. Sharing is caring, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions following this. So please drop in your Twitter handles, your Wakelet handles. People would love to kind of catch up with you and connect after this too. So thank you all so much. One last thing from us though is we have the Wakelet wrap up this week, right, Amy?
Yes, we do. We're really excited. We've got lots of, you've probably seen on social, we've had loads of ambassadors sharing and putting together some really cool activities that you can be doing in your classes before everyone sort of goes on their well-deserved break. But we have got some cool activities that the community has been sharing. So keep an eye out for those on social. And we also have a really special, we love doing a networking event. You know, we love a networking event. And love any opportunity to connect and allow you guys to connect and meet each other as well. So we've got a super special networking event happening next Thursday. So I'll drop the link in there where you can register. It'll be our first time using a Web3 metaverse extravaganza space, which will be really exciting. So if you register to that, we'll send you all the details, and it will just be a great way to do some activities, meet each other, have a little chat, and yeah, just wrap up the year together and kind of celebrate the fantastic year that you've had, and share all the moments and you know, the creativity that's been going around as well. So yes, I will put that in the chat just now. I'm also putting in the link for the certificate for this session. That's the one I was doing.
There we go.
So I'll make sure that's in the chat as well. But yeah, would love to see you all on there, because it's going to be a lot of fun, that one.
It will, yeah. We're very excited for that. And I think it's just a really nice way to end the year. Like Amy said, wrap up the year, hence the name. It's the Wakelet wrap up. And then everyone can go on their well-deserved breaks. So yeah, again, thank you so much for everyone that joined today. I hope you enjoyed it and took at least one idea. I'm pretty sure you will have, but fingers crossed. And again, Michael, Shero, and Bonnie, thank you so much for sharing. We do appreciate it. Sharing is caring, like Shero said. We love to do a lot of that here at Wakelet. So thank you. I hope everyone has a safe and enjoy their break. And we'll see you all either next week or in the new year.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Yeah. Stay safe. See you soon.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Bye.